Hello everyone, welcome back to Forays into Norrendrin. This hasn't been an extensive series. I did a couple of videos months back, and I haven't played this in a while. There was a new update to it, I think around October-ish sort of time. So I was trying out that version yesterday, and I feel like the game has been much improved. I enjoyed it anyway, but I had a really satisfying play experience with it last night, so I thought I'd give it another go on camera. So here we go. Let's just start a new game. And I will put in the name Bob, because why not? So, in the mountain pass where travellers vanish, a stone staircase leads downward. Welcome, Bob. So, for those of you who didn't watch the previous videos, and even for people who did, because as I said there have been some changes, the way Forays into Norrendrin works is that you don't level up in a normal way. You gain stat increases and new abilities and such by activating shrines scattered around the dungeon. The shrines appear on odd-numbered floors only, so if you're on an even-numbered floor, you don't need to bother looking for them. You also don't have regenerating health, which is pretty unusual for a roguelike. You can rest to get your health back, but it doesn't regenerate as you wander around. There's also the equipment system, which is pretty unusual. You start with all of these weapons and all of these types of armour, and you don't gain or lose them at any point, but they all have their own effects depending on what you want to do. So, the sword here, for instance, basic weapon, delivers powerful critical hits that remove half of a foe's maximum health. The mace isn't blocked by armour, and critical hits have a knockback effect. The dagger never misses when you're in the dark, and is twice as likely to score a critical hit in those situations where you're skulking around in the shadows. The staff always hits against a foe who just moved and causes you to swap places. Critical hits will trip them over. And of course, bows are ranged. The bow is pretty inaccurate, I have to say. You miss a lot with the bow. But criticals immobilise the target briefly. So they all have their own effects depending on what you want to do at that time. So similarly, armour, leather armour, +2 defence. But it does allow you to move stealthily. Chainmail gives you +6 defence and makes you a bit less stealthy. And full plate, as you might imagine, gives you much more defence, but really debilitates your stealth. And it does tire you out. There's an exhaustion meter on the left, and the more you fight wearing full plate, the more tired you'll become. So, I usually at least start off in this newest version of Norrendrin by going leather and dagger, because I plan to move around in the dark. How do you move around in the dark? Well, you have a torch, which is out at the moment so we can see everything, but you can put it away or get it out again using T, like that. So now we're skulking around in the shadows. So we will sneak attack this goblin. We did take 3 HP damage, but that's not bad. And here you can see some shrines. I'll get my torch out so you can see. Shrines of different colours. So in the dark, well, now we've seen them, they're the right colours, but you may have noticed before we got our torch out, they all looked the same colour, so we didn't know what they were. This one, Shrine of Spirit. This one, Shrine of Combat. Where there's a shrine like this, where it's 2 together, you can only use one or the other of them, and the other one will be depleted at the same time. So I'm going to say Shrine of Combat. G to activate. Rush of Power. Combat skill increases to 1. Put our torch away and sneak onward. At some points, the shrines will give you new abilities. Shrine of Defense here, so we'll use that. This is a shrine out on its own, so it's not a pair, which means it doesn't also drain another shrine at the same time. So this one gives us some abilities, as well as a stat increase. Defense went up to 1, and we can use Armour Mastery, twice as likely to score critical after your armour blocks an enemy's attack, but you become exhausted more quickly. Cunning Dodge, you can avoid the first attack of each foe you face. Deflect attack, tumble. I'm going to go with Cunning Dodge. I do like evasion in most games. rather than being resistant... No, I don't want to step on the trap. Rather than being resistant to damage we take, I would rather just avoid being hit at all. Okay. So... Oh, what's that? It's seen us, sadly. So we'll wait for that to approach. Oi! You pierced one of the frostling's vital organs. The air freezes around the defeated frostling and you're encased in ice. So now we're frozen and we'll have to pass some turns until we thaw out. There we go. Still, we're at pretty good health so far. Still at 97. Oh, carnivorous bramble. They're immobile, so it's generally a good idea to whip out your bow and picket it from a distance. I don't want to throw something. I want to shoot with S. So I'll keep doing that. The wolf seems to be faster than us, so I'll get my sword out for this one, and I'll upgrade to chainmail for a bit more protection. And then smack it. Okay. Now back to my stealth gear. We took an unexpected amount of damage there, but never mind. It's still not too bad. What's in here? Nothing particularly useful. I thought there might be a shrine. One of the things you might remember about the game is that if you try to leave a floor when there are undiscovered shrines on it, it will check that you really want to do that. Okay, open the chest. Kaleidoscopic orb. Doesn't really interest me. No, I don't want to break a poison bulb. Could do that with a bow, of course, if there was an enemy nearby. That could be a useful approach, but there isn't an enemy nearby. Kaleidoscopic orb could be something which actually helps us if we throw it at an enemy, but we won't know until we try. Let's have a rest. So back up to 100 health, and we move on. You feel an ancient power calling you back. Okay, so that means there is still a shrine on this floor for us to discover. So I guess it's over there in sort of the top rightish area. That's the only place where there's a tunnel we haven't checked out. I thought I'd checked everywhere, but evidently not. No? Your torch gives off no light because we set off a darkness trap earlier on. I don't see any other shrines. Oh, there's this tunnel down here, but we'd have to walk across a trap. Ah, there's a door to the left. Let's try that. No? Okay. Well, there's this one more... Oh, a wolf. Go away. There's this one more room in the middle here, I guess. Ah, there we go. Shrine of Magic and Shrine of Stealth. Let's use Shrine of Stealth. Stealth skill increases. Yeah. If we'd used Shrine of Magic, we would probably have gained a new spell. Okay. You can only rest once each floor, so sadly we rested prematurely there. Okay, at least we do have 74 health. I mean, it's not maximum, but it's not too bad. We've been blinded by the cobra spitting in our face. We want, if possible, to grab as many stealth shrines as we can. Because if we can manage to avoid being spotted by enemies as we explore, that will actually be very beneficial to us. You can see how much we're missing the bramble here. But they can't attack you at range and they can't move, so chipping away at them with a bow is generally a good idea. Okay. Hit the giant bat. There won't be any shrines on this floor because it's an even-numbered floor, so really it's just a matter of finding the exit. There's no point in making sure that we kill all of the enemies or anything like that because you don't gain experience or levels. You only advance from using the shrines, so there would be absolutely no point in making sure that we just clear out the floor, except possibly for finding treasure chests and that sort of thing. But generally, because treasure chests always contain consumable... Oh, crap. I hate Dream Warriors. Oh, we luckily managed to kill the original. It's one of those things like you often see in cartoons. Well, you know, sort of adventure-y cartoons and that kind of thing, where people produce illusions of themselves. The Dream Warrior does that. Okay, we will search this chest and then we'll head for the exit. Golden Rod Potion. I'll try that out right now, actually. Your mind expands. Potion of Mystic Mind. So now we can actually sense the presence of enemies, but I don't really care. I do want to rest before we leave the floor, and if an enemy stumbles upon you while you're resting, it will interrupt you, so I wanted to get rid of that eye enemy there. Forasect. Let's have a rest, and then we will move on. Now, there should be shrines on this floor as well. Again, we still have the effects of the Potion of Mystic Mind here, so we can sense the enemies. Okay, let's equip the bow and see if we can shoot at that goblin archer. He didn't notice us, despite the fact that we were shooting it. Hey! Okay, we were shot by a kobold. So we're having some kind of shootout here. Okay. Shrine of Stealth and Shrine of Defense. Let's go with Shrine of Stealth. Okay. So, we could have an active skill that lets us disarm traps, so we can walk past it safely, but enemies will still trigger it. That could be really useful. I do like Corner Climb, though, which is a passive ability which makes us invisible as long as we're in the dark and in a corner. I'm going to go with Disarm Trap, actually. So we can use our feats by opening the character screen with C. So we'll be doing that shortly. Let's try it out on this trap, since there's one right here. So, where do we use our feats from? We'll use our skills from. Feats, Cunning Dodge. Ah, there it is. Disarm Trap. A. That could be displayed a lot better, I have to say. But let's press A for Disarm Trap. Disarm this trap. You make it safe to cross, but it will still teleport enemies away if they step on it. Unless we do this again. So let's do that. A. There. Completely disarmed. And one feature I like, I don't remember this being in earlier versions of this game, but it's certainly in the current version. This yellow line between the shrines here is a torch. Watch this. Ha! The torch tips over and things go dark. Sometimes it will actually set fire to things. I have accidentally set myself on fire by pushing a torch over. So you do want to be a little bit careful with that stuff. So there'll probably be several shrines on this floor. So we don't want to leave yet. Spitting Cobra blinded us. Let's get back here. Hopefully away from the Cobra. Okay, let's fling something. Let's fling the kaleidoscopic orb at the Cobra and see what happens. Oh! You're encased in ice. We're all encased in ice. So they're frozen, but we're frozen as well. Goblin Archer dies. There's a scroll. Cobra's still trapped, so let's kill it. It broke free pretty quickly, actually. Okay. We were going toe-to-toe in a well-lit space, and we were using leather armour and a dagger, so we weren't gaining the benefit of the dagger. That was clumsily done. Should have switched to a better weapon before stepping out. But we can rest again before we leave the floor, as long as we don't get killed before that. Shrine of Combat. Might as well use that. Combat skill increases to 2, so we'll be a more effective fighter at least. What else did we have? Oh, we had scrolls. So let's try one scroll. It was a scroll of passage, which teleports you through a wall, I believe. So that's what it did there. And another scroll. Knowledge fills your mind. So that's basically magic mapping. Tells us what the layout of the floor is. Oh, crap! Goblin Shaman set us on fire. We really need to kill this guy. Now, we're in the light, because, frankly, being on fire, we are the light. So, let's switch to sword and chainmail. Try to take him down. Do we have a wand? We don't. We do have bandages, though, so he keeps knocking us back. Let's run. Run. Okay, we extinguish the flames by jumping into the water. We really need to use the bandages. No? Maybe not. Maybe bandages to stop us bleeding. I thought they actually healed us. Yeah, well, we're surrounded by dream warriors, so really we need to get out of this quickly. But we don't have any scrolls to help us. So let's run away. Oh, it's a dead end. Shit me. Okay. I think he's going to kill us. Yeah, we're on fire. I don't think we're going to survive this. I don't think bandages will put out the fire. No. Yeah. Okay, so let's start a new game. Have another go. This time we're going to be called Steve. Welcome, Steve. Okay, so as before, dagger and leather armour, and put out the torch. Okay, Shrine of Combat, Shrine of Spirit. Let's go with Combat. Okay. Shrine of Defence. We'll definitely take that. We need as much defence as we can get, really. I'm not sure how much help Cunning Dodge was last time. So... maybe Tumble would be worth taking. But it does take 2 turns to perform. Deflect attack. No, let's stick with Cunning Dodge. I feel like that's probably the best of those skills, or at least the one that suits me the best. Blast Fungus. It's basically a bomb, except that it's fungus. It explodes a few turns after being ignited, apparently. Okay. Kill the moth. Frostling hits you with a blast of cold. So we need to kill that thing as well. Of course we're frozen. That happens quite a lot in Forays into Norrendrin. I find that I'm always being either frozen or set on fire. Okay. Darkness Dweller. I'm a Darkness Dweller as well. Skulk around in the dark. So I'll switch to Sword and Chainmail, which does take a turn. But we're in the light here. Shrine of Magic, Shrine of Stealth. You know what, I'm going to take Shrine of Magic just to get access to a spell. Blink could be a really useful one to have. It's a tier 2 spell. Yeah, let's take Blink. So then we can cast using Z. Okay. So it's a useful kind of escape spell, really. So let's switch back to the dagger. Okay. There are probably still some other shrines remaining, so I do want to check out the rest of this floor before we move on. A long empty corridor, always a little frustrating. Shrine? No. Still no shrine. Down to 70 health, which I'm not enormously happy about, but as long as we get out, it'll be alright. Shrine? Oh, this looks very well illuminated. Okay, there's the exit. Yeah, there might be no more shrines here, actually. Let me have a quick look, see if there are any passages. I don't see any unexplored passages, so let's have a rest. Then move on. Okay. Dream Warrior. At least he can't surround us too badly in here, so that's something. Need to take out the Goblin Archer before he starts shooting at us. Ugh. Stop running away, you little bastard. Might need to switch to our own bow here. Oh, we've got chainmail on. I forgot about that. So let's do that. Switch to full plate and get our torch out. And then try to shoot him from here. There we go. another potion. So let's try out some of these potions. Mystic Mind. Not my favourite potion, I have to say. The Lone Wolf knows we're here, so might as well just fight it head on. Okay, we'll switch back to the stealthy approach for a bit. Forays into Norrendrin is one of very few roguelikes I know of that makes much effort to do the stealth thing. Most that supposedly incorporate stealth don't really try. So it's nice that stealth actually pretty much works in this game. And it's actually a very valid approach. Okay. But there's a pronounced trade-off for the benefits of stealth. I'll use this potion. Potion of regeneration. That's nice. We weren't badly injured enough for it to really be worth regenerating, but still, nice effect. Yeah, in some games where there's a stealth feature, you have to wonder why you would ever not use stealth, because it's so useful and there isn't that much of a trade-off for doing it. There isn't much of a disadvantage. But in Forays into Norrendrin, stealth is very effective. Encased in ice, I think it was a freeze trap. Stealth is very effective, but there's also a distinct disadvantage to focusing on stealth, because you're just not combat ready if an enemy does spot you and manage to get to you before you change your equipment. So there's a definite drawback to it. Okay, there's the exit. Again, this is an even numbered floor, so there won't be any shrines. We don't need to rest thanks to the regenerating effect, and we'll just move on. Yes. Okay, take out this goblin pretty quickly. Since the goblin shaman killed us before, we're on fire. There's no water around, so I'm going to just have to hope for the best. We did extinguish pretty quickly, so that's nice. In earlier versions of Forays into Norrendrin, I used to find it the case that when you were set on fire, it was basically impossible to come back from that, because the fire was so damaging and lasted so long that it was a death sentence, even if you had full health. You might remember that from the earlier videos if you watched those. Let's go with the Shrine of Defense. Good. Extra defense is always nice. Okay. Dream Warrior. Try and take him out before he casts his spell. No such luck. But we did manage to kill the original Dream Warrior, which caused the clones to vanish. Is that a shrine? It is a shrine. Shrine of Magic. So we get to gain another spell. Let's take Force Palm, which inflicts a little bit of damage, and perhaps more importantly causes some knockback, which is very nice. There's the exit. But there are, of course, possibly more shrines still remaining. So it's worth checking that out. This looks like a dead end. Okay. What about up here? Still a dead end. There might be no... Ah, there's a shrine. I was about to say there might be no more shrines. Okay. Ooh, switch from a melee weapon to another weapon instantly. You can fire arrows without first switching to your bow. However, putting your bow away still takes time. When you take a step, you automatically attack every enemy still adjacent to you. Usually I like quick draw, but I think I'll actually go for whirlwind style this time. Because I feel like that's very useful, being able to inflict damage automatically when you move. So we'll need to rest because health's pretty low, and then we'll move on. Okay. Swordsman shouts! This seems to be a very well illuminated level so far, which is aggravating. So let's switch our equipment to... Well, Swordsman might be wearing armour, so let's switch to Mace and Full Plate. And hit him. Mace knocks him back. Incidentally, the walls on this level are made of wax, which always disturbs me a little bit. What kind of dungeon is made of wax? That's just unsavoury. Will you walk into the web? Certainly not. I will switch to chainmail so it exhausts me less, and switch to a sword. But for now, I will continue just roaming. Because it does seem weirdly well illuminated down here. Although that could just be that it's more colourful than the previous floors. So actually, let's go dagger and leather as before. Heat sears you, fire geezer, whatever. Gazer. They're launching out flames at us. I think there was a shrine there, but it seems to have fire on it now. Maybe it was always fire, I don't know, but I thought I saw a shrine there. Don't really want to step into the web, but might need to in order to get through to that part of the dungeon at some point. Okay. Oh yeah, of course. This is, I think, an even-numbered floor. Yeah, depth 4. So there won't be any shrines on this level. So we're just trying to find the exit, basically. We haven't found very many chests so far, which is disappointing. Let's see about heading over this way. No, I don't want to step into the web, thank you. I'll step around the web. No exit still. Oh, Dream Warrior. Let's force palm him. There we go. Serpentine Wand. We've actually found a wand at last. In some runs, I find a lot of wands, and in others, I barely find any. This seems to be one of the barely any wands kinds of run. Okay. Wow, we've explored almost the whole floor, still no exit yet. No, I didn't want to step on the trap. Okay. Where are you, exit? Okay, some kind of teleport trap or something. It knocked me into the wall, actually, so I guess it's not a teleport. Oh god, he set me on fire. Alright, let's cast Blink. Yeah, so that actually got us away from there. Not into water, so we're still on fire, but it does at least give us a chance to regroup before the cultists come at us again. I'm going to switch to a bow and hope that we can sneak off a couple of arrows at the cultists. Where have they gone? Okay, cultists have disappeared. Yeah, we must have explored almost the entire floor here. There's just a bit in the sort of top middle region which we haven't explored. That must be where the exit is then, presumably. Wearing armor that has a weak point makes it twice as likely enemies will score critical hits. Okay. You can actually sustain damage to your equipment. I was unaware. Forceps burrow into the ground, which is nasty. It means they disappear and then pop up again in other places. Still haven't found the exit. Where can it be? There aren't many unexplored regions left. We might have to rest. There it is. We might have to rest. Yeah. I was going to say we might have to rest before we actually find the exit because our health was doing so badly. That rest has also repaired our armour. Zombie moans. Fine. Kill the zombie. Kill the zombie. Wow, that zombie's really doing a number on us. Let's cast Blink to try and get away. And we will take Shrine of Magic. The first defensive spell you've learnt is Empowered, so that'll be Force Palm. In our case, will do more damage. When you cast a spell, nearby spellcasters are stunned for a short time, and they permanently lose their ability to cast a spell you just cast. Yeah, the ability to disrupt enemy spellcasting might be worth having. And we get to learn a new spell. I'm going to say Scorch. Fire spells. Now, knowing me, there's a good chance that I will just set myself on fire with our fire spell. But what I'm thinking about is that ability we just gained. If we cast Scorch, then adjacent spellcasters will not be able to cast Scorch ever again. So that could be very, very useful. Shrine of Spirit, Shrine of Defense. We haven't taken a Shrine of Spirit yet, so I'm going to take this one to increase our Spirit skill. I'm not sure what Spirit skill does, but I assume it's related to magic in some way. Might be magic resistance or casting ability or something like that. Not sure. Could be completely unrelated to magic. I really don't know. So let's cast Force Palm on this swordsman. And try to bait him into a darkened area. There we go. Crimson Potion. So, let's try some of our potions. You transform into a being of animated stone. I think that's a good thing, but I'm not sure. It does wear off after a while. Crimson Potion. Oh, potions don't have any effect when you're stone. Oh, should have guessed, really. Phase Spider. Tell you what. Let's use our Serpentine Wand on this Phase Spider. Wand of Invisibility. Fantastic. Okay, let's cast Blink to get away from that spider and zombie which were approaching us. Okay. I'm really not sure whether bandages just stop us bleeding or whether they actually heal us, so let's try it now. No. Oh, no bandages can be used in stone form anyway. There's no point trying out Crimson Potion because we can't use it, being stony. Okay. We need to equip... I'll equip Mace and Full Plate because we're going to have to deal with direct combat here anyway. And we're dealing with the invisible spider as well. So, let's cast Force Palm up here. Zombies knocked back. Something misses you. Okay. We're being flanked, which is not good. And we got killed. That invisible phase spider was very unfortunate, but couldn't be helped once it was done. Oh well. Thanks for watching. As always, this has been Forays into Norrendrin, and I'm getting a lot of enjoyment out of this game recently. I feel like the newest version of it is the best version. Some of the stuff which I had objections to in the earlier versions has been refined. For instance, you used to have to use a shrine several times before you gained a new ability, and that just made it so difficult to gain abilities that the game was excessively challenging. I feel like it's much better balanced now. So, Forays into Norrendrin. I will put a link below to where you can get it if it interests you. Like many of this type of roguelike, it is free to download and to play. Thanks for watching, as always, and rejoin me next time for more videos and games and stuff. Until then, bye for now.